CM Punk's got this all off his, all this weight's off his shoulders. He's married to AJ Lee. Everything seems to be going great. And now he announces, semi-shockingly, that he signed a multi-fight contract with UFC.
Here's my major problem. Okay, I have a lot of major problems with it, but I mean, the one problem is, dude, this is also where I think his personality is going to get him into trouble. Dude, you are not... I mean, I'm not saying you can't train and go out there and put on a decent match, but where on earth do you get the idea that you are an ultimate fight,
a world-class mixed martial artist?
Yeah, a world-class mixed martial artist. Where does Dana White, does this, signs him because it's going to be good for views, but Punk is going to get himself killed out here, and this is what really bothered me about it. So Punk makes a lot of good points on the podcast about, they rush you back to the ring, but you got to have time to heal up from your injuries, and I don't want to, be broken by the time I'm like 40 or 50, and then he goes and he signs up for the UFC with no training.
Okay, well, there's a lot of things to talk about here. First off, at least in mixed martial arts, you only fight usually at most 4 times a year.
Yeah.
So the wear and tear, at least on paper, is a lot less than
on
wrestling.
Paper?
Yeah, it is. Here's the problem, though. It's not like CM Punk...
No, I just mean it is hypocritical.
This is what's hypocritical. What's hypocritical is him getting... He'll be main eventing his first pay-per-view with a 0-0 record. He has no right to do that.
No.
You think he has no... People are going to get on me for saying he has no right to write a Thor comic? He has no right to take another... someone else's spot. There's guys that are fighting in cage matches out in Iowa for years in front of 300 people that would wish they got these sort of even the opportunity to do this.
Right, and now he's doing the exact thing that he bitched about the WWE
bringing back part-timers,
which is bringing back part-timers,
main eventing, yeah.
Right, and now he's getting the shot to do that.
I will disagree with you. I don't think he's going to get killed because Dana even said this isn't like bringing in Brock Lesnar, who Lesnar had world-class collegiate amateur wrestling experience. He had fought. Remember, Brock Lesnar's first fight was not in UFC. He did 1 or 2 elsewhere in mixed martial arts before Dana White got in there. Plus, the heavyweight division in the UFC when Lesnar came was so thin that it wasn't the biggest danger. If he's fighting, I believe he'd be fighting in the 185 division. That's the most stacked division. So even Dana said we're not going to be fighting him against #1 contenders or contenders. He'll be fighting other guys that are 1-0 or 1-1 or 0-0. That said, that's fine. But Dana White's always also said he doesn't want UFC to be a circus act. But now it's a circus act. Because even if the wear and tear, it's weird because CM Punk said the wear and tear in my body from pro wrestling, I had to step away from it. He's been wrestling professionally, CM Punk, for 20 years. He started in his mid-teens, I believe, 15 or 16. Yeah. I can't imagine the wear and tear in his body. To go from that to try to train mixed martial artists, you have to understand this isn't a hobby for them.
Yeah.
They train this 4 to 5 hours a day,
every day,
6 days a week. Yeah. Let's just say it's their life. It's their absolute life. It's tough. It's not. I'm not saying professional wrestling is professional wrestling is totally different because obviously professional wrestling you're performing almost every night.
Yeah.
You're not getting punched in the face directly. You don't have to worry about getting knocked out. Well, you can get knocked out by accident, but you know what I mean? It's a different beast entirely. But now Punk has had jiu-jitsu training. He's trained with one of the Gracies. He's done, trained in Muay Thai. That's fine. But mixed martial arts, especially UFC level, is not for hobbyists.
Yeah.
You can get hurt, which is why, again, they're not going to be putting him, they're not going to put someone in the ring with Punk that he's going to get killed, because then no one wins. It'd be like Kimbo Slice all over again. They hired Kimbo Slice, who was a street brawler, was a terrible mixed martial artist.
Yeah.
Put on terrible matches and then gets knocked out easily. But at least with Kimbo Slice, he went on the Ultimate Fighter show and earned his spot at least to train and show that he could do it. I have no qualms about it. I think CM Punk's going to try his hardest. That's the type of person he is. He doesn't want to disrespect everyone else in the ring. But again, if you're a mixed martial artist, you're fighting in one of these other smaller leagues, and maybe Dana White's rejected you and say you're a world-class athlete, you're like, why? Where's my shot? Who's this guy to get all this money and get this shot? So that's where Punk's been hypocritical. And he's like, yeah, he even says, he said, I know why fighters will be pissed at me, but be pissed at Dana, not me. So there's that to be said too.
I don't know. I think he's a jerk.